mystery.
Who's Keith Barron cooking?
Thank you. Well, all that mystery will be revealed later. Now, a few weeks ago, the holiday season in the southwest offered extra jobs in places like hotels and guest houses. Now it's over, and many of the people who came from Trago Mills, Mike Robertson, is in the studio. There's another personal look at the week's local news, and my last guest is still probably on stage at the moment at Plymouth Theatre Royal in the National Theatre production of She Stoops to Conquer. He's Tom Baker. He's going to be driving up here as soon as he finishes tonight, hopefully by car rather than by the TARDIS, and let's hope he gets here before we finish at about 5 to 11. So if you want to ring us this evening, here's the number again, Plymouth 26. Hot foot from the Theatre Royal in Plymouth. My next guest, Tom Baker. Go here tonight, as you see. You've just finished, have you?
Yes.
A few minutes ago?
Yes.
In She Stoops to Conquer?
That's right.
Playing Mr. Hardcastle?
Yes.
How did that go, all right?
Yes, it went well, quite well, yes.
And it's here for the rest of the week, of course.
Until Saturday, yes.
We've been talking about unemployment a lot tonight, some of which you won't have heard because you'd have been acting at the time. But presumably as an actor, you've been out of work yourself, if not recently, certainly in the dim, distant past, have you?
Yes, I have, but when people become sculptors or actors or things like that, or jazz musicians, I think that they expect sometimes to be out of work, and if they don't expect to be out of work, then they're deluding themselves. However, most people, when they pursue a way of life and try and choose a job or a career, however they call it, they expect and hope that it will continue and that they will be in work for as long as they want to be in work, or if they want to change their way of life, that they can do that. And so actors are not typical in that sense.
Are you typical, if that's the word, if there is such a thing when you're an actor? Are you constantly in work now? I mean, are you totally satisfied?
No, I'm not constantly in work. But the thing is that being out of work is not quite the same thing when you're an actor, because sometimes you earn enough money to sustain you for a little while, for a few weeks, or sometimes if you were in films for months, and then you can choose your work. And so in that sense, it's a very, very pleasant life if you're in that area of choice. However, when people are young, it's almost impossible. I mean, one of the difficulties in our union is even to get a ticket when people have been trained fully and succeeded honorably in getting a good pass or whatever it is. It's just very, very hard to get started. But however, actors in such a small minority, I don't think that anyone should actually bewail or feel sympathetic towards actors. I think people who do something as silly as want to be an actor deserve all they get, really.
I mean, somebody like yourself who's very well known, do you find a problem now that you get too much work almost? That you have to
I
pick and
don't. In
choose?
some ways, I'm knocked out of work. I mean, I can't work in television very much now because, of course, I'm totally typecast because of something I finished with 3 years ago.
Doctor Who?
Yeah, and so what was at one time a wonderful job, and I'm a big star in Abu Dhabi. I don't know what I can do about that. But now I'm knocked off the television because people are cautious, and when a job comes up and they say, what about Tom? People say, well, what about that Doctor Who, you know?
I think that's true of most people. Would you all think of Tom as being Doctor Who? See, they would. They're not all from Abu Dhabi either.
No.
Devon, some of them. Cornwall, too. Anyway, Tom, She Stoops to Conquer is going well, I trust. We were going to see you yesterday, and there's a problem with the stage, wasn't there? Being too big,
yes, Plymouth is an immense theatre. I mean, the stage is absolutely enormous. It's as big as the Olivia stage in London. And so, yes, we had problems because of the sheer size of it. We had to rehearse things. And I've been clambering.
So you have further to walk, do you?
Well, we do, yes. And I've been rushing around trying to encourage people to come and see it, you know, because it's not quite known to theatre goers, regular theatre goers, make terrible assumptions, like any regular doers of anything make assumptions. that everybody can go to the Theatre Royal. Well, there are several factors in that. Of course, lots of people can't go to the Theatre Royal because they can't afford it.
Yes. Well, let's hope, I must interrupt you, let's hope a lot of the people here, perhaps you'll go and see it. Tom Baker, thank you very much. Right, we must go soon. Mrs. Lucy Budge has phoned to say, I'm a North Country lady and came to Devon in 1952. I feel we should all share the country and I feel we should not begrudge it to others. So that's another view from somebody which has met with some approval. Just a final point. We'll be back next week, that's what I'm going to say, because we don't seem to have very much time left. I'm going to say thank you to Mike Robertson, to Liz Roberts, to John Benz and to Tom Baker for coming in tonight. We'll all be back with more of the same next week. Don't forget those consumer problems. Keep those letters coming in. Over the next few weeks we'll be looking into that for you on your behalf, anything you think that is unfair or unjust. So thanks to everyone, thanks to the studio audience. More of the same next week for Slade Alive at 10:25. Till then, good night.
Now on BBC One, more pages from Claire Raynor.